Hello everyone and welcome back to Run It Up. Run It Up number 83. We are here today playing some 50-cent $1 no limit Texas Hold'em on ultimatepoker.com. And we're playing some heads up. We're in the heads up cage to start off the week against the one and only El Guapo. That's right. I actually got to meet El Guapo over the weekend at our first ever Run It Up at Red Rock. We'll talk about that just in a minute. We've been playing for, I guess, like 2 or 3 hands, something like that. And now we've binked the old queen ball. Certainly not going to check. I think he probably has a hand around ace high, maybe like 5 or a 7. Can't bet too much. Like, I think if we bet 9, he'd probably make correct decisions. So maybe against 7 he'll call. El Guapo, too slick. Just right out of the cage, no problem. Perfect poker from Mr. Guapo over there. So, I think my strategy here is going to be to play probably a little bit more. I know as we're raising 4-9 offsuit, I was gonna say a little more conservatively than usual. I actually think that Miguel, I think, is pretty good generally speaking. So I'm not gonna be too loosey goosey, and we'll play more straightforwardly as though I was playing, you know, like 25-50 or something. So gonna 3-bet here with king queen offsuit. Pretty happy about that. Off to the flop we go. I suppose not the worst flop for king queen. Gonna start with a bet. I think 8 or 9 are both fine. I think, you know, anywhere in that realm can't be too bad. All right, we get it done. How do I need it? Yeah, I might need a little luck. I'm just saying, maybe just a little, just a smidge. So I think I'm going to, I'm not really sure, I don't think I've ever played actually heads up before, so I'm not actually sure as to like how he reacts to things yet. So I don't know whether it's better to min raise or 3x, or like I don't know exactly what our tendencies should be. Imagine a display full of dials that we could be adjusting. That's I don't know how to adjust just yet. So like sometimes we would check this back, sometimes we would bet. I've decided to bet because, you know, betting is almost always the better option if you're not sure what to do. Spoiler alert / secret alert, I guess. So we have a decision now between checking and betting. Does he fold better if we bet? Yeah, probably. Does he also call with worse if we bet? I mean, that doesn't happen. Could check back, or could bet. I think checking back is probably slightly better here. I don't really think that he folds that much. We could win. We beat some things. I mean, obviously we don't beat too much, but we do beat some things. I don't think betting now makes too much sense. Chop it up. That's right. So on Saturday, we had our very first ever live Run It Up a Mint. It was so much fun. We had 38 people total play a $100 buy-in tournament over at Red Rock. It was great, man. I had so much fun. It was so nice to meet, I guess, 35 Run It Up warriors, because there was me, Martin Campman, Phil Collins, and Brent Hanks were the 4 bounties. So $100 sweet Jay Carver bounties went out to you Run It Up warriors out there who came and busted the 4 of us. So I had so much fun. It was great. We gave away some posters, and it was just awesome. I just posted a full album on Facebook, facebook.com/jcarverpoker if you're interested. And I guess we just fold now. I mean, ace high is pretty good, but when he checks back on the flop and then bets now, unless he just like totally gave up, he just has like king deuce, gave up, and now is bluffing. Everything else beats us, so I think that's also kind of unlikely. If he has a hand that gave up on flop, he has to now be trying, so, you know, trying to win the pot. So I think folding is fine. Let's make it 250 and see what happens here. Let's see if this does anything besides fold or, well, I mean, obviously it doesn't, you know, just because it's when you're trying to learn about your opponent here, obviously the fact that he does something in response to something you did doesn't necessarily mean that's his strategy or even his tendency. But, you know, we have to start somewhere. So to build that profile of our opponent, we got to start somehow. So last time we re-raised, we saw him call. So I actually think that I'm going to try this re-raise heavy strategy in the big blind with most of my playable hands. You guys have seen that I really haven't done that before ever. So let's see how El Guapo does against our more 3-betty heavy style in the big blind. Maybe not at all. Maybe he reacts perfectly. We will see. We will see. So So we crowned our champion on Saturday. Rodney, our run-it-up warrior from Las Vegas, last registrant into the tournament, shows up at 2:30 and he's like, "Hey, can I still buy in?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're in there, kid." And he just ran it up and just drilled it. No big deal. So that was awesome. We're definitely going to do more of these. It was so great. We did it with 2 days notice and we got a full house. I was supposed to start with 18 people. That was what I was given, and I begged it to get 27. And then I really begged to get all the way to 30, 36, and we got 2 people that were alternates. So it was perfect. We had just the right number of people trying to bluff bet here twice. I think there's a chance that he'll fold a queen if we bet twice, but looks like that is not what he's decided to do here. So we have a decision between, I mean, to be honest with you, there's not really too many hands that make a lot of sense here as him, right? I feel like most of my hands would want to call, though, and not re-raise, but I'm very doubtful of what he could be doing here. Like, he has to have, like, queen 9, ace 9, ace 3, something like that, or he's bluffing. So I think that's pretty hard to have those hands, but I didn't really want to call. I guess I could have called and then shoved on river. That would have been probably a fine play. Actually, I probably should have done that. So if you had it, Mr. Guapo, unfortunately for you, I decided to not participate in your cagery, even though I probably could have / should have. Going to check call here, king high and backdoor flush draw. Looks good to me. By the way, it is 9 in the morning, so the games are a little just about getting started. They're a little dead right now, not gonna lie. But that's why the games. That's why we're not playing higher and or fuller ring. So we have a decision, obviously, between calling and folding. We could also raise. Actually, it's kind of an interesting decision as well here. But I think that's kind of hard for us to really represent very much. I think I'll call here twice. No reason to really believe that he has us beat yet. I think if he has a low ace, he might just check back here. So for him to bet, he probably has to have something pretty solid. Wow, he didn't even bet ace jack. That's crazy. You should bet that, Mr. Guapo. Come on, I got so many aces. What are you worried about? That was nit check by El Guapo over there. So yeah, that was great. It was so nice hanging out. That was awesome. We'll definitely do more of these. I actually have some, they're not quite plans, so I feel like I can share them with you guys. Because if they were like plans, I'd want to wait and surprise you guys. But they're more like ideas, so I feel fine sharing them. Sherry. Hey, Sherry, welcome to the table. So I think it would be so awesome to do like I don't know exactly what it would be called. The calling it I haven't figured out yet. But how sick would it be to do a tournament at we probably do like 4 of them a year in Vegas, and then we do how sick would it be to run it up at the Crown, run it up at the Vic? How great would that be? We could just do run it up around the world. That sounds fucking awesome to me. So we'll see. I'll get on that. And we'll see what I can do about that. So this is kind of sad beans. It's probably the worst river card to bluff. I mean, literally like 5 of clubs, we win the pot. Obviously, we have a straight, but there are so many cards. Yeah. I know you have ace high. I can't do any. I'm put in the cage by the 4 of clubs river card. 4 of clubs river card bailed you out a little bit, sir. I'm just saying. I was on that bluffing plan, and then the 4 of clubs just ended my dreams there. Gonna raise it up here. I think $3 is probably fine. Could make it 4 or whatever, but all we're trying to do is pretty much get it heads up with some overlay, which is fine with me because I can't imagine that everybody will call. Off to the flop we go. That's a pretty flop for the old 8-5 of spades. That's all I know. I think the most bizarre / awesome thing, and by the way, there were lots of bizarre and there were lots of purely awesome things, but one of the most bizarre things to me was playing live poker with all you guys. So everyone saying, it was just hilarious to hear so many things that I say. I'm just like, what? How? What? It was very bizarre to hear so many people talk about putting people in cages and just drilling it. It was great. I loved it. It was amazing, and there are so many cool stories you guys shared with me. There was a guy named Joe who said that he started with like $30 online. I don't remember, like 3 months ago, maybe something like that. And he said that if he shoves, by the way, I'm gonna be really unhappy about it. But bink, We just did plan number A, which was, that's right, plan number A, which was just get there. No big deal. Have him call and then get there. I'm all in. I believe I have 5 in a row. Actually, I have 6 in a row, if we're counting. Wow. I'm glad we weren't bluffing. I'm glad we didn't have the old 3-5. I guess that would have been fine. I'm glad we didn't have the old deuce 3 ball. All right. He was right on 3 of the 4 streets, at least. But not the 4th one. But yeah, so I met this guy named Joe who was at my first table, and he told me they started with $30 and ran it up to $4K playing like sit and goes the last 3 or so months. How crazy is that? So many cool stories like that you guys shared with me. It's really awesome. I love it. It's so cool, man. It's really pretty incredible. I don't know what my Christmas plans are as far as Run It Up goes. I've been thinking about that. Ooh. I didn't pink bell him. I felt I was just too surprised. I was in pink bell shock. I couldn't do it. In time. But maybe I'll do it on you, Mr. Guapo, because I got 5 in a row, bitch. I got a wheel, bitch. Huh? Didn't do that in person. Couldn't do that nearly as much. You'll see later. I was gonna show you, but you'll see. I checking the grades. That's right. Trying to steal. Come on, El Guapo. Come on. Oh yeah, my Christmas plans. I think my plans for this week, I'm going to promise nothing. I think it's Christmas week. All I want for Christmas is to take like a day and a half off. That's all I want. So I'm planning on doing that, but I'm not going to commit to exact video schedules. Obviously, this video, there'll be one probably Friday, and then Tuesday, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, day after Christmas. I don't know. There'll be something sometimes, but I'm not going to commit to it. There'll be videos that I want to make as I choose to make them. It is what it is. It's Christmas week. Give me a break, people. Come on. Don't be so upset over there. I don't know what to say. If I don't take off this week, what week can I take off? So I feel like I have to. This is my opportunity. I don't really feel like I need a break, but I feel like if I don't take it now, when everybody else is doing nothing, I feel like I'm never gonna get a chance to do it until next Christmas. So I'm taking a little bit. I'm taking a little bit of time, but it'll be a lot of fun. We're gonna do. I'm gonna do a late night poker lab sometime. In the next 24 hours on Facebook. You guys will have to just stay tuned to see. So if you've got any hands you're not sure about, save them. Put them in a notepad file or something. And when we do our next late night poker lab over on Facebook, you can post that, and I will give you my thoughts. Hercules over there flexing his muscles, opening up with a pot-sized bet. Oh, look at you, Hercules. Just bombing it, huh? All right. He gets it done. Hey. Shows what I know. So yeah, I think that's pretty much just my plan for this week. There will be there will be at least a video on Friday, obviously the video today, and there'll be some sort of video over the next couple of 3 days or so, but I'm not sure exactly. There could be a video every day. I don't know. I'm promising nothing. We'll see how busy things get. We'll see how everything is going, but it's Christmas break. Come on. Come on. We've been doing videos for 5 months now. It's, it can happen. We can have 1 week where it's question mark for 1 day, huh? So Ira is here with King and Queen. Got called by Sherry over in the small blind. And now she is really... Oh. Well, we could be ahead, obviously, but, we are more likely not, slightly, at least. So, okay. Nice hand, Sherry. You got it. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I mean, obviously we had just fold there against the shove. She gets it done, If we had, what would we need to call there? That's a good question. What would you need to call there? If you're wearing the sheriff badge, what hand would you think we need to call there? I think that I wouldn't fold ace king. And I definitely wouldn't fold a purr if I was lucky enough to have one. I ain't folding it. That's all I know. If she has this beat somehow and played it that way. Boy, she deserves the $70. Go buy herself a nice Xbox One game or something. If she somehow has like a 7-8 offsuit or something and somehow saw that flop and was like, I'm all in, you deserve it. Enjoy the $70. But I think King Queen can be safely mucked there. We do beat some straight draws and things like that, but those hands still have a huge percent to win against us. So I think I'd rather just fold, save our $70 for another day. So yeah, there's that plan, all that stuff. I'm really excited for January. There's going to be some awesome stuff happening next year. There'll also be a really cool thing going on for you Nevada fans. You guys are going to be, the world is going to be jealous of you guys because there's something else coming up this week that only you guys here in Nevada will get a chance to win. So stay tuned, facebook.com/jcarpoker for that. I don't know yet. I know vaguely what is going on. You'll have to see. You'll have to see. Let's just say Santa Carver is coming to town. That's right. I feel very, speaking of Santa, I feel very un-Christmassy here in Las Vegas. I don't know if it's just like, if it's me or like it's the general syndrome of living in Las Vegas, but I feel very un-Christmassy. You know, it's like not anything near Christmas weather. It's desert weather. It's like 55 right now. I don't know. I just don't. This has been like an invisible Christmas. It has felt like, you know, it's just very weird. It's been a little bit bizarre, but I think I don't know. I just miss, you know, it's not even close to like snowing or it's I don't know. No family for me out here, so it's like I don't know. It just seems very un-Christmassy. But you know, all right, sure. I think next year will be better when there's a little bit more of a. I don't know. When I actually thought that this week would be crazy busy because of the fight coming up on Saturday, which is why I didn't go back to New York for Christmas. So, and it looks like it might be. I mean, they should technically. I don't think they are doing it, but you know, usually fight week starts on Wednesday with open workouts. And I don't know if they're doing open workouts on Wednesday because it's Christmas this week, but I'm pretty sure the press conference is still Thursday, and then the weigh-ins are still Friday. So. That fight's going to be so sick. Wow, look at this discipline fold. A6, I just say no thank you. And punished immediately. You know, A6, pretty bad call against these two guys. I think it's fine, fold. But very sad to see that. This Saturday, though, UFC 169, I'm so excited. It's going to be absolutely incredible. What an incredible fight. The rematch between Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman. Cannot wait for that fight. I think Weidman's going to take this. He's got like the skill set to beat Anderson. Like, I think if you were going to put together a robot and say, this is going to be a robot that's going to beat Anderson Silva, it would look a lot like Chris Weidman. Great jiu-jitsu, great on the feet, great wrestling, aggressive. You know, I think he's got every skill and trait that you need to have a good chance at beating Anderson Silva consistently, and I think Chris would be it. I think Anderson has a great chance to win, and I emotionally want Anderson to win. He is the best. Of course you want Anderson to go in there, do a cartwheel kick, knock out Chris Weidman. You know, of course that's what you want here. But I think that Chris is very likely going to just out-wrestle. He's going to out-wrestle Anderson and just ground and pound his way to victory, if not a submission finish. So I think I'm really excited for that fight. Ronda Misha is also on Saturday night. The women's bantamweight title fight. That's going to be. For a fight that has a 10-1 favorite. I'm about as interested as you could be, I suppose. I'm more interested from like a popcorn eating perspective than like a matchmaking perspective, because you would imagine that Ronda will just bulldoze poor little Misha. But you know, I actually think that typically in MMA sports betting, and I think actually maybe in all combat sports, but I don't know. I can't speak intelligently to boxing, I suppose. But the lighter the weights, usually the better fighter wins more often, because you lose the chance of like flash knockouts. The chance of getting a flash knockout is so much lower with 135-pound women than there are in 265-pound men. So there should almost never be a heavyweight fight that has a 10-1 underdog. And in fact, historically, when that's been the case, there's been some major upsets. Like Sokaju was like a 18-1 underdog against 18-1 underdog against Nogueira and won or something like that. So against somebody that wasn't stationy, I would love to raise this turn card here, but I'm actually, in my experience, when people do this, of this player type, they're not folding. They're just not going to fold. They're going to bet 7. We're going to make it 30. He's going to just call. The river is going to be a 3, and then he's going to check, and I'm going to want to bluff, and I might even try to bluff, and he's going to call with pocket 4s, and we're going to lose. So we're going to skip that road and just fold and say, all right, you got it this time, kid. You know, that's what you got to do. You can't win them all. That's what I learned at some point in my life, maybe. So yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense when you're the higher weight classes are fighting. Obviously, it makes sense that there should be a higher chance. There's a higher variance because two top professional fighters throwing punches and kicks at each other. There's going to be all it takes is really one solid hit, and you change the whole entire course of the fight. When you're 135-pound women, those shots don't really exist. You know, I mean, even for the top professionals, the bombs just aren't going to be as damaging. So the better fighter wins more and more often. Which is why I think like betting the smaller weight classes is actually one of the best ways to bet MMA professionally, just because of if you can correctly identify who the superior fighter is, the game plan they're going to enact, the game plan your opponent is going to enact. I think if you can look at all of those things, you're pretty likely to have wow, how is that pot $6? Top pair against the straight, $6 pot. Boy, action table, huh? Jesus. $6.50 pot. Top pair against the straight. What in the world? Definitely am going to re-raise against these two guys. Don't see any reason why not to. Pocket 7's almost for sure the best hand, and we're going to just win bigger pots, I believe. Calling would have been okay as well, but, you know, let's be real. Clearly not the flop of my dreams. Okay, Sherry's getting it done. She's just putting us in the cage over and over again. Hey, Jay Carver, I got a cage for you. Oh, thanks, Cher. I like how I did her in my voice and me in the nerd rage voice. That makes a lot of sense. Call, I guess. Let's see if El Guapo will let us see a flop. He might. It's possible. Oh yeah. Let's see a flop dealer. We're on our way to having another wheel ball. We have a sick low hand. If we were playing low, no limit hold'em, we would have a sick hand right now. We would have nearly the nuts. We would have a 2. Right? Ace. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. That's pretty good. All right. I bet you like 10% of you guys even had a clue what I was just talking about. All right. If you're playing low hold'em, so the worst hand wins. The worst hand would be ace, deuce, 3, 4, 6. Right? That's right. So we had a 3, actually. Yeah, the third best hand possible with ace, deuce, 3, 5, 7. Now you get it. Now at least 30% of you know what I'm talking about. Thanks, Jay Carver. You're the best. That was kind of Anderson Silva voice a little bit, you know? BJ Penn, he's the best. Huh? That's what that reminded me of. I don't know why. I should really work on my Anderson Silva voice this week for the fight. I think if there's ever a time to sharpen it up, it might be this week. You know, I've never met Anderson before, but I met Chris. Chris is awesome. Chris went to actually the college that I went to, one of the colleges that I went to. The two of them that I went to. How many did I graduate from? 0. But yeah, we went to the same Hofstra University. I have very bad memories of it, though. It was when I was sick and couldn't care less. Should we try to bluff this, people? We do have a 3 straight and a 3 flush. Actually, we have several 3 straights, I'll point out. For those of you that are not as optimistic as I am. That's right, get it done. No big deal. 3-5 of blue. Wow, we're getting lots of 3-5s today. Probably not going to be defending this one. So, yeah, I guess we have this pile of Dear J. Carvers here that's been calling my name for some amount of time, but I've been ignoring it. I've been neglecting it. It's been busy. I don't know what to say. Should we do some Dear J. Carvers? All right, let's pull some Dear J. Carver questions. I feel like we've been jonesing. I feel like you guys have been jonesing for some Dear J. Carver action. So, all right. Here we go. Some Dear J. Carvers for you. Dear J. Carver. Wow. Another All right. I'm not going to read your question. I'm just going to go with it because I've enjoyed the first sentence enough. The first two sentences enough. Dear Jay Carver, in episode number 69, you mentioned The Walking Dead. Does watching this show ever lead you to scope out safe havens in your surroundings? As in, I found a great zombie-resistant hideaway a few miles away. It's a mental hospital for the criminally insane. Oh, I'm glad you found that place. Just coincidentally visited. So it has those great double those double fences with razor wire, but comfier living quarters than a prison. That's actually very true. You're very secure, and yeah, that's a great, actually. I give you props for sure. And it's directly across from one of those giant food houses. Wow. Warehouses, actually, is what you said. 3. Let's make it 3. I feel like, El Guapo is obviously pretty good, but he doesn't seem to be in a very re-raising mood, so I feel like Queen High is going to get the job done here often enough. I have to admit, I'm hoping all the inmates are gone by the time I arrive. Inmates or walkers are gone by the time I arrive. All the best, Diana. Your number 1 9%er. Oh, thank you. Summer Vixen, Diana, over there. I don't think you asked me a question, but I liked your email nonetheless. I do think very often, I guess the question you asked was, do I think in terms of like zombie hideouts and apocalypse scenarios, which is actually the reason why I think The Walking Dead is so insane, because I feel like if you actually lived in that world, you would have to come up with like a very logical approach to every situation you ever walked into, because really it's kind of like the video game concept of why you should never move and shoot in most zombie games, right? Because it doesn't help you much to move and shoot if they're not shooting back at you. It's better to, okay, I'm messing this up, but oh boy, didn't mean to call here against Sherry, but okay, I guess we're seeing a turn card with King 3 of Diamonds. Okay, I was just like, yeah, check or call. Okay. I guess we just fold now. As upset that I am that I put in $5, I just ignited 5 run-up dollars. I guess we just fold now. I mean, that's really not a great turn card. If the turn card was a spade and Sherry checked, I would be super happy to go to war. Like, well, what's the story you're trying to tell here, Sherry? I mean, I'm not buying it. What are you doing? You bet with a flush draw, and then you bet 12 into 37? Get out of here. Yeah. El Guapo is putting you in the fucking cage. That's right. Come on, El Guapo. Come on. I hope he doesn't have it, and I hope she folds. Come on, please. El Guapo is just putting her in the cage. That's right. Showing the Round Up Warriors how it's done. I hope. Oh, boy. Sherry's tanking is very weird, though. Like, you think you'd be like, either you call or you're not. Oh, that's right. I'll do a Bink Bell for a run-up warrior putting someone in the cage. Of course, that was great. I actually would guess that El Guapo didn't have it. Well, is more likely to not have it, because I feel like if he had a flush and shoves the river, I think it's so unlikely that Sherry's going to be able to call. He could have worse than a flush, I guess, but I would actually be somewhat lean towards El Guapo not having it. I mean, he must have something, obviously, if he called the way he did. And I guess he is. I guess it would be kind of crazy for him to have nothing. But I think shoving is actually incorrect if you're doing it for value, because it's so hard for her to call. How does she ever call? How does she ever have anything that can call there? She so often just has like a 5 or whatever that I think almost like min raising or making it like $30 on the river would be better for value. But as a bluff, it was great. And as far as I'm concerned, that was the big bluff from El Guapo. I'm very proud of that. But all right, so. Maybe it's not even a general concept, but I think there's like I don't know. I'm trying to think of what video game there was that there was like a big discussion over like the proper strategy. Oh, it was Left 4 Dead. In Left 4 Dead, which is a zombie video game made by Steam, Valve, made by Valve on Steam, made by Valve, that if you're not familiar with it, and I believe, I could be wrong about this, but I believe there was, in that game, the proper strategy to fight the zombies was not to move and shoot, especially because it was a squad of 4 people. So if you had moving, didn't accomplish anything because they were coming, and if you're moving in front of people, you're just going to get shot yourself. Friendly fire. I forget what my point was for this whole story, but I had a point about somehow we got here from zombies, and then I was like the theory of something, and then I was trying to compare. I'll have to look back and answer in the comments or something, or whatever it was I was talking about. But yeah, All right, raising it up here with queen jack suited. I think that makes sense though, but I forget what the point was of the original thing I was trying to make. I was just trying to make a point about how you shouldn't move and shoot zombies, I think. Whatever. If there's ever been a whatever, Jay Carver, that I think deserves it. Oh, good question here. I'm excited. The first 2 lines, Dear Jay Carver, I'm having a problem. Great, this is it. You're in the right spot, kid. Dear Jay Carver to the rescue. Raising it up for value here. We have a 3 straight flush and top pair. That's pretty strong. Let's see if we can get any contenders. Nope, just pretenders here, I'm afraid. Dear Jay Carver, I'm having a problem. My employer granted me a leading function in the warehouse. But because I am by far the youngest member of the team, it's hard to earn respect. I am afraid to be the harsh leader and lose my colleagues as friends. What should I do? Well, I strongly advise you to find the weakest member of the warehouse and beat the shit out of them. That's the only way. That's the only way to prove yourself alpha male. I'm sorry. It just has to be. Huh? I don't know. I've never been in that situation. You could be the kind leader. You could bring food for everyone, you know. You could help everyone out a little bit. I don't know what this is supposed to be. It's like good job, little fella. You know, you could be like the skipper from Gilligan's Island, as it were. You know, you could be that guy. I think that's fine. You could be Alan Hale. I think that's his name, right? I should get points if I got his name right, just pulling it off the top of my head like that. I can't Google it right now, but I'm pretty sure I got it right. Points to me if I did. You should like the video if I got it right. How about that? Huh? Gilligan's Island trivia. I don't know. It's tough to think. I actually think that the best thing you can do is just be efficient, you know, and efficient, inclusive. That's what I should do to keep a warehouse run efficiently. It sounds like efficiency should be the way to go. That's right. All the German fans are like, yes. Oh, yeah. That's right. I'm a quarter German, you know. That's true. I'm a quarter German. So we love our efficiency, you know. It's a true thing. Let's see if we can just run out the old 4-ball. Also would take a 6 or a 3. Or the old clubberoo would also be 8. Looks like we did not do that, though. We could have a full house. If it checks through, we could at least consider bluffing the river. So, decisions. Do we want to bet $3? What does $3 accomplish? Probably not what we want. What does $5 accomplish? Probably not what we want. What does $9 accomplish? Probably still doesn't accomplish what we want. I actually don't believe there is a bet size that makes a ton of sense here that would work for us. Oh, wow. Wow. We're not getting through that hand, I don't think, but, you know, hey. Okay. No comment. No comment. Guy makes it to top 2 pair status, and it's just like, all right, let's see a showdown, dealer. Hey, it's fine. It's whatever, you know, he lives his own life. I'm not saying he does what he wants to do, but, you know, for a guy like me, we get very excited to have a 9 there. A 9 is the nuts. I'm just saying. Let's read another Dear Jay Carver. Dear Jay Carver, you're a boss. Thank you. Thank you. What's your thoughts on Open-Faced? Open-Faced Chinese? It's a great game, I guess. It's fine. My thoughts about what? I've played a bunch of it. The highest I ever played was $1,000 a point, and I won. It was not even close. It was a smashing. The guy had no chance. He was really bad. He was like one of my best friends, but he was really bad. Awful, actually. I would even go so far as to say. I've told this story several times before, but he and Isildur were playing Open Face, and they were playing for obscenely high stakes. And my boyfriend, who's only played on the app, was watching them and was like freaking out at how bad they were playing. If it was not a private, heads up experience, I would have sincerely considered putting him in for whatever the crazy amount of money they were playing in, because he would have almost for sure been better than those two guys who had just no clue what they were doing. But yeah, he didn't get to play. Dear Jay Carver. So yeah, I mean, I played a little bit, but I haven't played in like since the World Series. It's pretty much died down around here. But it's fine, a fun game, that's for sure. There'll always be cool different variants like that are popular for the moment, and as they should be. You know, I think to keep poker alive, poker as a game isn't Texas Hold'em. Poker is, you know, obviously a card. You know, it's like there'll always be a most popular variant. Obviously, Hold'em is popular because it's very easy to understand, very simple to, you know. It's obviously a very simple game to get into, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if 10 years from now the most popular variant was something different, or at least like there was like a high contender, or even if there were like, you know, 3 or 4 other games that had become popular, you know, very popular and then faded away. Like Open Face kind of was like that, I think. Like I would be surprised if next year Open Face is still as popular as it is in its current form, at least. Dear Jay Carver, I know you hate the long questions, so I'll try to keep it short. Longtime watcher of Run It Up. Started back in the Bovada Heads Up days and have watched nearly all your vids. I find myself saying so many of your sayings while I play cards. How bad could it be? Get out of here with your X and X. But enough about me. Time for why you get these emails. The questions. I liked your intro, sir. You could be my copywriter, I think. I feel like we were on the same page with how you were talking the whole time. Do you watch anime? Nope. Any favorites? Nope. Assuming that's a no, good assumption, I prepared a backup question. What is your favorite I bet you bet? From the Run It Up Warrior, Connor. Thank you, Connor. So before we answer that question, I'm sure the question you guys will be thinking of, hey, where's I Bet You Season 3? And the answer to that is I am working on it. It's been difficult and complicated, but I'm mining for it. I want it just as badly, if not more so than you guys do. But I have a lead, and I'm trying. Haven't made it yet, though. It's not the easiest thing. Distribution rights, and it's a bit of a jungle gym, but I'm working on it. I would love nothing more than to post I Bet You Season 3, especially on my channel. I would really love to do that, but we'll see. As far as my favorite bet goes, let's see. I haven't watched them in a long time, so maybe there was one that's like I'm gonna forget that was like really good. There were so many good bets though. That show is amazing, and I never miss an episode. I saw every episode live on Mojo or whatever that network was when it aired. I loved that show. That show is so funny, and I actually really loved Phil from watching that show, and Antonio I had known before that. I mean, not known personally, but I knew of Antonio. But I didn't really know much about Phil before I Bet You. And God, Phil's the greatest. How do you not love Phil Locke? I think if I could buy like an hour with any poker player just to hang out these days, definitely Phil Locke, top of the list. How could it not be? Phil is just great and hilarious. I can't think of like one particular one that was like awesome. Like the firefighter one was really good. I guess we call here. Could also check raise. Actually, against this guy, a guy who's not even betting in 9, let's definitely check raise. Let's make it 10, dealer. I have queen 8 or 2-4. What can I say? I check and die raise. I don't know what to say. $10. El Guapo says no, thank you. Let's see if we get any action here. Well, we've turned some more outs. That's kind of neat. 16, 17, 17, 18, 16. I'm like auctioning. Let's do 18. I'm going to bet a little bit bigger against this guy because I want to encourage him to fold. You know, like I think that against somebody who we have seen fold to, or we have seen seem like he could be pressured in other spots, I think that it would be a pretty big mistake to bet smaller here and allow him to stick around and put us in a situation where we might want to bluff river, but we're not really sure if we can. So I think we want to just bet as much as we can on the turn and kind of just end it right then and there if we can. And if he calls, hopefully we bink it on the river, but thankfully no binkage necessary this time. Raise it up here with 2 10s against a limp from Sherry. And, okay. Playing this game again, I guess. All right, let's see a turn card, dealer. Red bird in the pot. See you later. Oh, hi there. Hello. Let's see what Sherry does at this point. We are going absolutely nowhere. The question is, should we call or should we raise? It seems pretty unlikely that she'll have too many hands that have 9s in them that will play this way, right? Limp, call, pre, bet out on the flop. What kind of hands do you have that have 9s in them? And even if she does have hands that have 9s in them, you know. Okay, let's just call, though. I think that... Fuck. Damn it. Well, we could still win this pot if she checks. We could still bomb it. We have flushes slightly more often than she does. And then she checks. Well, she also could have kings, though, which really sucks. We should have just raised turn, I think. I mean, it's results-oriented. This is obviously the worst card, or one of the worst cards in the deck. Any 9 is probably equally bad. All right, no bluff here. No bluff here. Damn it. We should have raised turn. Damn it. I was going to raise turn, and then I decided not to because I thought that it was so likely we were crushingly ahead that all I had to dodge was a king. Probably a king. King because of ace X I was mostly worried about. And diamond I was worried about 1 pip below that. I could have just raised for value, though, getting against 2 pair, you know, flush draws, combo draws, stuff like that. I usually do raise turn, but this time I decided to call and try to put her in the cage, but she just decided to slip on right out of that cage. Damn it. Oh. Oops. I really like your email, but it's too long. Oh, here we go. Dear Jay Carver, if you had to pick a 5-person poker dream team, who would you pick? Their first name can't be Phil. Good luck at the tables. Thank you. From New Zealand. Who would I pick? New Zealand? No. Netherlands. Sorry. NL. So, who would I pick? 5-person dream team, no Phils allowed. I like the no Phils allowed concept. That's a nice little twist to have in there. All right, so we're going to talk about, I'm putting together, here's the scenario. I'm going to take your question and build it into a bit of a scenario so we know where we're at here, okay? That's what we're doing. We're going to build this. So we're going to say I get to pick five players in the world, and the best, all right, so it's like it's a 10-man tournament. I get to pick 5 people to play. I get to pick 5 horses in the field. That's what we're saying, right? If that's what we're saying, that it's just going to be like a 10-man shootout. Whoever wins is the winner. If that's what we're doing, I think that I would pick... See, it's different, because if it was like a 1,000-person field, then there's a different list, you know? You want guys who can really street fight in a 10-person tournament, like the 10-person $1 million buy-in or something, right? So, I'm going to pick Daniel Negreanu. He is the best no matter what format. He is adaptable, gets it, perfect. You know, Daniel understands what's going on. Definitely picking Negreanu. Second pick. Can't pick any Phils, which obviously I would usually pick Ivy here. Ivy, Philport, can't pick either of those guys. I would take Tobias Rankenmeyer, who I think is ridiculously super sick good. Super sick good. I would take Ike Haxton, who also is super sick good. Also, if you told me that what the structure was, you would definitely tweak it. But I'm picking guys who I think are just like really good at poker generally, and I think can adapt to any structure. So we have Ike, Daniel, Tobias, and I think, you know, Isildur is really good, but I don't know if he would do good in like a sit-and-go format. I don't think he's played enough sit-and-go poker to really get the nuances of it. Obviously, he would be sick in a lot of other formats, but I don't know. We didn't really specify enough for me to really say Isildur as a pick. Antonio is good, but I think I could pick somebody who's probably a little bit better. I'm just saying, if they're top 5 in the world, Antonio is probably top like 20, but I don't know if he's top 5 in this type of a format where it's a 10-man, you know, battle. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe Antonio. I mean, I wouldn't pick me, that's for sure. I think Antonio is probably sharper than me these days at this type of a thing, but I don't think I'd make it either. Although there's probably a time in the universe where I would have picked myself, but this is not that time. If we go back to like 2008, oh yeah, I'm in there for sure. Back when I had, I definitely had a little bit more of an ego when it came to everything back in 2008. But in my defense, money was being piled in truckloads of money all back then. But those were the good old days, I suppose. I don't know. These last 2 spots, I guess I'm kind of tripping on a little bit. You could take somebody like a Phil Galfond, but again, he wouldn't be my pick for a tournament, really. There's probably somebody who's a little bit better at tournament strategy than Phil. Jungle Man, same thing. Sauce, same thing. Like, those guys I respect so much, but I don't really know if they'd be great for this format. I think Galfond, of the three, of Galfond, Jungle Man, Sauce, I think Galfond would probably be the best in that kind of a format. And then maybe like a Z Justin. Oh, Phil. I can't pick Phil. Fuck. No Phils. All right. I guess we're picking Sauce then. We're going to pick Sauce. Sick online high stakes warrior Sauce. And then raise this up here. And I don't know. I feel like your question, I think Justin is a good one, actually. I actually think Justin Bonomo is super, super good as well. And I think he would be a good pick in any kind of format like that. That's for sure. I'm overlooking some people. I have to be. I just can't think of who they are right now. Going to start here with a bet with our backdoor flush draw, ace high, and gut shot. Our opponent says no, thank you. Huh? Answer me, bitch. UFC and gambling question. All right. That's the subject here. Dear Jay Carver, how much would someone have to lay you to step in the cage with Cain Velasquez and stand up for 20 seconds without getting knocked out? What's the price? And if so, use your ultimate poker power and make it happen. Team Run It Up for the win. Robert from Wisconsin. Thanks for your question, Robert from Wisconsin. I wouldn't have to get paid that much. It doesn't seem like that crazy of a thing. So we could re-raise or call here. I think I'm actually going to just call. It's probably going to be three ways, but I'm okay with that. Let's see a flop in position dealer. Heads up would be even better than going three-way if I had my option, but the option is El Guapo's, and he says no thank you. So if I remember correctly, Vegas Cash is a little bit on the tighter side. I don't really know for sure, though. So like if I had to guess, he's probably slightly more likely to have it than not. Against the pot size bet, though, man, against the pot size bet where we have a 3 flush, and he can definitely have ace king, ace queen, stuff like that, maybe even 2 9s once in a while, I think we just shove here. I don't think anything else makes too much sense. He could definitely have jacks or better, but if he has it, he has it. So what? Merry Christmas. Enjoy my $100. Doesn't look like he has it, though. It wouldn't, even though he bet pot and that made me more likely to do something like this, I think that one of the reasons I shoved, well, there's lots of reasons for why I shoved here, but I think there's just so much in the pot at this point that it's just worth us to shove. Let's see. Ace and king. All right. So, reload. Table 2700, 390. All right. Can't do anything about that. Fair enough. So we are in for 180. Don't think we can do too much about that. And I actually think that his call is probably fine. It depends on what he thinks of us and all of that. But even if I'm pretty sure you can construct a very reasonable argument as to why that's okay. I think it's fine. I think if he called this with like king queen and spiked a king or something, that would be crazy because so often we have him destroyed. But I think with ace king particularly there, I think he thought about it and made a decision that I had enough hands that he has a good enough price against, and he's probably right. So we just didn't we weren't able to hold on, unfortunately, but it happens. What can you do? All you can do is make the best decision and then just hope Santa brings you the presents. Am I right? This is a good, interesting question, but very, very long. And very, very long. I actually find this very interesting, but it's a very long email that I don't really want to debate right now. This is a very weird question, but oh yeah, definitely. We were just talking about that Vegas Cash. That's right. Can't wait. Dear Jay Carver. Oh, this is even better. I accidentally flipped through. Dear Jay Carver. The title of the subject of the email. My wife has no respect. Dear Jay Carver, my wife has absolutely no respect for my impersonation of Jay Carver impersonating Anderson Silva. She has no respect at all. I tried putting her in a cage yesterday and that didn't work either. How would Jay Carver demand respect if he were in my shoes? Peace. Running up warrior number 13, Sector Nashville. John. Thanks, John. That's an awesome question. I'm sorry your wife doesn't respect your impression of me impersonating Anderson Silva. That's a brutal beat you have there. But, maybe you have to work on it. Maybe it's not perfect. Maybe she needs to be seduced into the impressions. Maybe you have to do like an impression of, I don't know, somebody that she likes first, like Rachel Ray or, somebody. I don't know. I don't know who women like. I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm the wrong person to ask about that. We could check, actually, also would be fine. It depends. We check if he has more no pairs. We bet if he has more sevens. I think I'm actually going to check. Give him a chance to bluff. If he has spades, 9-10, 6-9, things like that. We also save a bet against, like, better eights, but, if we knew he had a 7 or an 8, we would bet, obviously. That makes sense, right? If we knew he had something that can call, we would bet. If we knew he had something that wants to bluff, we should check. Makes sense to me. Thank you. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Probably play for another orbit or so. See if we can do some healing of our minus $70 session as of now. Bum 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 bum. All right. You guys are so funny, but some of these are just absurd scenarios you're giving me here. I can't read like an 8-paragraph precursor to your scenario question. I just can't do it. It's too much. Boy, so many questions about League of Legends and poker. Not even like League of Legends. It's like League of Legends and poker. It's like 4 in a row. I can't do it. I've been playing a lot of League lately, but I've been so frustrated ever since like maybe it was like Saturday last week or Sunday. I had a free like 5 hours, and I got back up to 98 LP, which you're trying to get to 100 to promote yourself. Got to 98. I won a match. I got 1. I got to 99, and then I lost 3, and that was the end of that. So I'm at like 90 right now, trying to get to gold. Interesting question. I will definitely answer this one. This is a good one and relevant, even though you didn't know it when you wrote this. Dear Jay Carver, do you have any funny stories involving Joe Stapleton? I'm curious about how poker players interact with Stapes in real life. Thanks, Jay. Well, thanks, fellow Jay. I met Stapleton for the first time. Sorry, I was distracted. I met Joe for the first time. I guess I met him maybe at a podcast. I think I did a podcast with him back in the day, and we did a show together, and that was our first time we met, and we talked for it was like a long show. It was like a 30-minute show. Oh, hi there. 5 in a row, eh? Too bad Sherry didn't want to bomb it. Let's see if we can get some revenge here against Sherry. Don't want to bet too much because we won't want her to, But I don't think anything relevant is not going to fold for 6 here. Pretty good turn card for us. Going to bet a little bit more, closer to 15, I think, than 10. Maybe just 15 exactly even. 16, 15. We bet 16, she calls. 32, 52, she'll have... Okay, I think 16 is a good size. Since she'll have 60 left, and there'll be 52 in the pot, so we can bet a lot. Tanking makes me sad. All right. Maybe I should have bet 15. Huh? Damn it. If only Sherry is probably like 14, 15. I can't call 16. I'm out of here. Huh? I don't know what voice I went with there. I went with the old kind of Philadelphian woman with that. I don't know. I don't know what that is, but that's what I went with. Hi, I'm Sherry from Philadelphia, and I like to play poker. I have no idea. One day I'm going to meet one of these guys that I'm making fun of in these videos. It's going to happen sooner or later. But I'm not really making fun of them. I'm having fun with them, even though they're not participating. They're having us. They're helping us to have fun. They're helping out in the show, right? It all depends on how you look at it. I've never made fun because maybe a little. All right, dear Jay Carver, love your videos. You've helped me my game more than I can explain, blah, blah, blah. Look, my wife is having contractions and says the baby is on its way. The ambulance is en route but is stuck in traffic. If the help doesn't arrive soon, I'm going to be in a whole world of trouble and bodily fluid. Oh my god, gross, by the way. My question to you is, what the F-bomb do I do? Kindest regards, Chris, sent from my mobile cellular device. Subject, by the way, is serious question. Well, given that you wrote this email to me a month and a half ago, hopefully you have a healthy baby at this point. And once again, another question. When it comes to your wife's vagina, really, I'm not the one you should ask. DearJCarver@gmail.com. Not the place to ask for help with your wife's vagina, in case you weren't sure. Oh yeah. Deaf betting. Got a club draw, bitch. Give me that puppy dog foot, whatever, or a king would be great. It's very hard to believe that all these people here have something that is very good, right? How do you have something that's very good here that doesn't bet flop? All right, El Guapo wins this pot. You got it. Fucking El Guapo. The only thing he can call with really is a 10, which makes sense because, he checked through on the flop. So there's no reason he can't have a 10. But if he has worse than a 10, I think he probably just folds if he has just a big club. Or like maybe even like a 6 might fold. And then Sherry probably doesn't have too much either because she didn't bet flop as well. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely not folding in our last orbit. Jack deuce of hearts on the button. Sorry, Jay. It's all right. You called. What can you say? You had top pair. It's not your fault. It's the fault that you had top pair. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't wait for this. This is a great spot with Jack deuce of hearts. This is the spot you dream about. That there's a guy who raises and a call, and we're on the button closing the action, putting in $7 to win $30. I am just stoked. Let's see a flop dealer. Oh my god, let's do it. Okay. Less done it than I would have liked to have done it, but we at least partially done it. So let's bet $14. I'm definitely not folding to Sherry. Okay. So I believe that this guy probably has his beat. If he has ace-king and decided to play ace-king this way, congratulations. You have played it in such a way that is perplexing, but got the job done. I think we just took a shot, and now we fold. If he had called, well, there's that. I mean, it's just so much more likely that this guy has an overpair than he has ace-king that would play this way. Why wouldn't ace-king just bet? We could have got bluffed for sure. If he shows the bluff, it's like, all right. Good job. But I think it's so much more likely that he has it than does not have it. We could check back, of course. That is an option, but I think it's just a mistake. There's no reason to suspect that he's going to check min raise. We've never seen him do anything remotely like that, and I think we're just straight up betting for value and a little bit of protection. So could we have gotten bluffed there? Yes, it's possible. If we were much deeper, I would have at least considered calling, but I think that we make our decision right then and there, and I think we're just not going to be ahead often enough. Going to call here. I believe we will not be folding on this turn card unless something crazy happens. Certainly that does not qualify as crazy. We could definitely be beat. I mean, there's lots of things that beat us, but I don't think we can fold yet. Certainly not folding at this point, no matter what Sherry does over there. $5. So we have a decision between raising and calling. If we raise, will she call us with worse? Probably not super likely. She has to have like exactly 2 pair, which I guess is possible, but I think we just call. And yeah, don't believe that hand was calling a raise no matter what we did. All right, I think I'm done here with these Dear J Carvers. I think I'm just done. That's it. All right. So let's do a wrap up. 1 and 2. All right. So we started out today with, we did not run it up, spoiler alert. We started today with $180 and we ended with 98 and 40. Oops. 180 minus 98, 41. So we lost $81.59. It happens. We lost a $220 flip, so that'll do it. 1894, 73 minus 81, 59. 18, 13, 14 is our current balance. All right. We didn't run it up today, but, you know, we had fun. I had a good time. Hopefully you did as well. Don't forget, if you enjoyed today's video, let me know. Comment in the comments below and tell me about it. I enjoy that very much. And also don't forget, Facebook.com/jcarpoker. Everything that's happening these days, run up related, is pretty much happening on Facebook. So if you're not already friends with me there, add me there. And I think that's it. Thanks so much for watching as always, guys. I'll be back with something very soon. Remember, Christmas Eve tomorrow. Yeah, you know, we'll see. And if you live in Las Vegas, you'll really want to make sure you follow me on Facebook because there'll be a thing happening just for you. Ooh, look at that. Oh, you guys don't get to see. There is a little river by Sherry just got in with a jack and 4 against queens with only a jack on the turn and drilled it. Should have a flush draw too, I guess, actually. But anyway. Anyway, I will see you guys back for more very soon. Thanks so much for watching as always. I really do appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Peace.